Good morning and welcome to Multiply Mornings. My name's Dan and today we're breaking down the top stories from across the web, including Hurricane Matthew ravaging the East Coast, the Galaxy Note 7 debacle, and Germany putting an end to the combustion engine by 2030. This and more, stay tuned. You heard me right on the last one there. Germany ending the combustion engine. Now they've set a mandate in there. It's not legally binding, so I mean it's more of a kind of like, hey, we'd kind of like to see this done, all right? Or a German accent. Hey, we would like to. I can't do a German accent. Anyways, and so they've set this staple. They've said that we would like to see it completely gone, eradicated by 2030. Now that's a lofty goal, but with companies like Tesla, Faraday Futures, there are so many people working towards this goal. It's actually becoming more and more of a reality. Now, I'm not a green fanatic or anything like that. I like the electric car because of the performance, everything. The Tesla is amazing. What you can do with it, the step forward in technology that it is. I find that far more interesting, and also less of a dependency on foreign oils is great. For me, it's just a cool transition. I think it's obviously the next step. It's more efficient, different things like that. So it should be exciting to see. I don't know if this is going to happen. I don't think Germany knows if this is going to happen. Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think about this? Now, moving on to our next story, the Galaxy Note 7. Now, the Galaxy Note 7 seems to be a never-ending saga of just bad. Now, the Notes have been a really good series. I had the Note 2. That was the last Note I personally owned, but they're really good phones. They're Samsung's really one of their high-end flagship devices, that and the S7 series. So what we see from the Galaxy Note 7 is that, unfortunately, it is not going well. If you don't know, if you've been under a rock for the last couple of months, there's been a global recall on the Galaxy Note 7 because they were literally exploding. Let that sink in for a second. They were literally exploding, and then they recalled them, and now this weekend alone, 4 or 5 of them have actually combusted again, one on a Southwest flight. Now, this is so bad for Samsung, let alone that the first recall cost them $1 billion, is estimated, over $1 billion, with a B, that is. Now they've done this. Samsung is in humongous trouble. This week alone, AT&T has stopped shipping, has stopped selling the Galaxy Note 7. The second biggest provider carrier in the United States has just said no more. Then there's also every carrier has begun to accept refunds for the device, allowing people to come and exchange it. And now the news has come out that Samsung is pausing shipments of the Galaxy Note 7. Now, this is a humongous deal. One of two of Samsung's biggest phones. The S7 is by far its largest. The Note has a humongous following. Samsung is one of the most loyal brands, and so this is humongous for everything across the sphere. You may not be a techie. You probably enjoy a smartphone more than likely, and what that means is that this is going to cause a massive shift in the cell phone market, possibly. It's really intriguing, and even if you're someone who doesn't like tech, it's something to watch for because it can have a humongous ripple down the line. Moving on to some more grim news and our top story of the day. Hurricane Matthew has just been absolutely destroying the East Coast. Now, the storm's gone in several parts, but yet flooding is still commencing. The latest reports I've seen are 1.4 million people without power in the United States. The death toll in the United States is around, I believe, 19 so far is what I've heard confirmed. In Haiti, where it hit first, is over 1,000. The storm has just absolutely devastated the East Coast, and all through there, you see pictures of the devastation of the roads that have been wiped away, the flooding, the destruction all the way around. It's mind-blowing to see it happening on this amazing stage in which we're seeing. It's really saddening, and I know people, we have friends who live down in Florida. My prayers go out to you. There's several organizations out there that you can donate to raise money to go down there and apply relief. But we can't forget also the less developed countries such as Haiti. I know numerous people who have adopted children from Haiti and several things like that. And you have to think about the poor, devastation, and the people who don't have insurance and stuff to go over and help them out with this. I mean, it's really a sad thing to think about, let alone what's doing here in the United States, but places that are less developed have less opportunities is what we do. I know there's several great organizations out there that are assisting and helping and raising funds to help all these people. So make sure you find one of those, go and support them so that way that they can hopefully do a lot of good and we can recover from this. It's truly saddening. I remember several years ago when a tornado went through our town where I grew up, Kirksville, and it went through actually my sister-in-law's family's home right through the middle of their living room. And unfortunately, that storm, it caused so much devastation. It went through a whole neighborhood, destroying my sister-in-law's family's home, but let alone all the other homes around the area that were affected, destroyed. It was truly something I had never seen destruction on that scale before. And you look at what's going on here in Florida, and you see devastation. And to look at this and you see the devastation at such a high high peak level. And you see that God does warn about. This is a product of everything that's happening around us with what God's doing throughout the world. And I know it seems sad. I know it seems like it's a little bit off, but I tell you it's true because God is moving, and unfortunately He's trying to get our attention and say, hey, look at me. Look at what I'm trying to say. Today I was in Job, but this is kind of transitioning to the focus very seamlessly. But Job was sitting there talking about to his friends who came and visit him. He was talking about how all this stuff had happened, but there's this beautiful point in the scripture. There's a section of Job when I was reading today that really spoke to me in a very large way. And I've actually talked about it, I believe, on the show before. But it's in chapter 13, verse 14 through 16. It says, "Why should I take my flesh in my teeth and put my life in my hand? Though he slay me, I will hope in him. Yet I will argue my ways to his face. This shall be my salvation, that the godless shall not come before him." Now I tell you, I look at that piece of scripture and it speaks to me so much because you look at what Job's saying there, and you look at what he's talking about. He's literally in the heat of the biggest destruction he's ever seen in his life. And he wonders, God, why is this happening? Why am I here? And I know you find yourself in that situation sometimes. You find that you think to yourself, God, why is this happening? I'm sure a lot of people are standing back and looking at what's happening, if they're down there, especially in the middle of this, thinking, God, why is this happening? We have to understand God is God, and He has His own way of doing things, His own reasoning, and something we need to learn through it. And that when Job is sitting here talking about this, and he says that that though he slay me, I will hope in him. Though whatever comes my way, I will hope in him. That's the greatest thing I can give to you, because I can't say everything's going to be okay. I can't say that there's not going to be more storms, that there's not going to be more death, that there's not going to be more pain in this world. I can't tell you that. But what I can tell you is, though whatever may come, God is still your best hope. God is still your only hope. And though you may be confused, you may be unhappy, you may be in pain, faith in God is never in vain. Faith in God never comes up short. And so you're sitting here, you're thinking, why is this going on? The reality is you need to trust and know that God is in control, and that though this doesn't make sense to me today, here in this moment, God is doing something for my better, not my worse. And so I think that's an amazing challenge when we're looking at the face of just adversity, of hatred. I mean, so much in this world right now, guys, between the election, between all this political and racial and social instability, and all this stuff going on, the thing we can find hope in is that God is still God. And that even though all this is so bad, that we can still turn to Him, just like we saw the Israelites do time and time again, and He will answer our prayer. But the reality is it takes a heart change of me saying, I'm going to do it. Revivals don't start out of nowhere. Revivals don't begin out of people just out of thin air. It's not like, I like to say, it's not like Beetlejuice. You can't say revival, 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 and it just appears. No, it's from hard pain, work, blood, sweat, tears. That's where we see true revival. But all of those things start with me and a personal conviction, a personal desire to say, I want to see it happen. And I'll do whatever I can in my life to keep progressing and going to that place. That's where I'm going to leave you guys. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that touches you, especially in this manner of today in which we're seeing so much chaoticness, so much just insanity happening around this world, that God is truthfully in control. God is not surprised in the least by what's happening, and God's going to do something great in your life. And so I want to challenge you, take the time to spend that with Him. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for checking out today's video. I'm going to leave it there. We're a little bit over, but I appreciate you checking out. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. It really helps us and lets us know we're doing the right thing. Lets other people know that this is something they want to check out. Subscribe to the channel. I cannot stress subscribership enough. It really means a lot to us. Actually helped us in a major, major way when you subscribe to the channel. So make sure you do that, guys. Make sure you go and check out our social medias in the link down below, guys. God bless. My name's Dan. I'll see you next time.